In 1886, a small pharmacy in Atlanta sold a new drink for just 5 cents a glass. Today, this drink has grown into a $43 billion giant called Coca-Cola. The secret recipe is so special that it's kept locked away in a vault that only the company's top leaders can open. Coca-Cola isn't just a tasty drink, it's an amazing factory story. Every day, they make 2 billion cups of the exact same drink for people all over the world. In fact, you can find Coca-Cola in 99% of all places where people live. How does a simple mix of water, sugar, and secret flavors turn into the world's most famous drink? How do they make so many bottles and cans that all taste the same? And how do these bottles travel from big factories to your local store? Today, we're going to step inside the amazing world of Coca-Cola factories to see how they make the drink that almost everyone on Earth knows. The journey of every Coca-Cola bottle begins with water, lots of it, but not just any water will do. Inside these massive factories, water goes through an amazing cleaning process. First, big machines filter out any tiny bits of dirt. Then, the water passes through special sand filters that catch even smaller bits that we can't see with our eyes. Next comes the most important part. The water must taste the same everywhere in the world. To make sure of this, Coca-Cola uses a process called reverse osmosis. This pushes water through a super thin filter that only lets water molecules pass through, stopping anything else. Even tiny salt bits can't get through. After all this cleaning, the water goes through one more safety check, where it's treated with a tiny bit of chlorine, just like swimming pool water, to kill any germs. The chlorine is then removed before the water moves to the next step. This careful cleaning is why every Coca-Cola tastes the same, whether you drink it in New York or New Delhi. Now comes the most secretive part of making Coca-Cola, mixing the special syrup. In a separate, highly guarded room that few employees can enter, workers make what's called Merchandise 7X, the secret mix of flavors that gives Coca-Cola its unique taste. This secret recipe, created in 1886 by pharmacist John Pemberton, is so valuable that it's kept in a special vault at the World of Coca-Cola in Atlanta. Only a handful of people know the complete recipe, and they're not allowed to travel together. Once the secret flavoring is ready, it's mixed with other ingredients we do know about. Sugar, or corn syrup in some countries, caramel color for the brown look, phosphoric acid for the tangy taste, and caffeine. All these ingredients are carefully measured and mixed in huge metal tanks. The mixing happens at exactly the right temperature to make sure everything blends perfectly. The result is a thick, sweet syrup, not yet Coca-Cola, but getting closer. This syrup is so concentrated that it would be far too sweet to drink on its own. The magic of Coca-Cola happens when the syrup meets carbonated water. In giant steel mixing tanks, the secret syrup is carefully combined with the purified water we saw earlier. But there's still something missing: the bubbles. Carbon dioxide gas, stored in big metal tanks as a liquid under high pressure, is now pumped into the mixture. When this gas dissolves in the water, it creates millions of tiny bubbles that give Coca-Cola its famous fizz. The exact amount of carbonation is carefully controlled. Too little, and the drink tastes flat. Too much, and the bottles might burst. Interestingly, the temperature of the mixture has to be kept very cold during this process, usually around 34 degrees Fahrenheit, 1 degree Celsius. This is because cold liquid can hold more carbon dioxide than warm liquid. That's why warm soda goes flat faster than cold soda. After mixing, the now complete Coca-Cola liquid moves through pipes to the filling area. But before it gets there, it passes through one more set of filters and quality checks to make sure it's perfect. Now comes the most impressive part of the factory: the bottling line. Empty bottles or cans race along conveyor belts at amazing speeds. Modern Coca-Cola bottling machines can fill up to 2,000 bottles per minute. That's 33 bottles every second. Before filling, the bottles or cans are cleaned with powerful jets of air or water. For glass bottles that are being reused, the cleaning process is even more thorough, with hot water and cleaning solutions used to make sure they're completely clean. Next, the bottles zoom under the filling heads, where precisely measured amounts of Coca-Cola are squirted in. The filling happens under pressure to keep all the carbonation in the drink. Within a split second of filling, each bottle is immediately capped or sealed to trap all those bubbles inside. After filling, each bottle or can passes through an amazing inspection system with high-speed cameras and light beams that check if the fill level is correct, if the cap is on properly, and if there are any defects in the container. Any bottle that doesn't pass gets pushed off the line automatically. With the bottles filled and capped, they now need their famous red and white labels. Modern Coca-Cola factories use two main types of labeling: pre-printed plastic labels that are wrapped around the bottles using glue or direct printing onto cans. Each bottle or can also gets a special code printed on it. This code tells you exactly when and where that particular Coca-Cola was made. It includes the exact date, time, and even which production line it came from. This is incredibly important for quality control. If there's ever a problem with a batch, Coca-Cola can track it down to the exact minute it was made. The labeling machines work with amazing precision, applying labels at exactly the right spot on each bottle as they race past at high speed. Special sensors make sure each label is perfectly straight. If a label is crooked or missing, that bottle is automatically removed from the line. Throughout the entire manufacturing process, Coca-Cola undergoes constant quality checks, but this step is where the most rigorous testing happens. Every 30 minutes, workers take sample bottles from each production line for testing. In special labs inside the factory, these samples undergo multiple tests. Machines measure the exact sugar content, carbonation level, and acidity of the drink. The color is checked using special light meters to make sure it's the exact right shade of brown. Even the amount of foam that forms when the drink is poured is measured and must meet specific standards. This strict quality control is why a Coca-Cola tastes the same whether you buy it in Tokyo, London, or Buenos Aires. The company is famous for its consistency. A Coca-Cola today tastes just like it did decades ago. The final step in the Coca-Cola factory is preparing the filled bottles or cans for their journey to stores. Bottles are grouped together in specific numbers, usually 6, 12, or 24, and wrapped in plastic shrink wrap or placed in cardboard boxes. These packages are then stacked on pallets by robots or workers. Once on pallets, the drinks are moved to massive warehouses where they wait until delivery trucks arrive. Coca-Cola has one of the largest distribution networks in the world. Their bright red trucks are famous sights on roads across more than 200 countries. Interestingly, most Coca-Cola isn't shipped very far from where it's made. The company operates more than 900 bottling plants worldwide, so most bottles are made close to where they'll be sold. This helps keep the drink fresh and reduces shipping costs. From these local bottling plants, the drinks are delivered to grocery stores, restaurants, vending machines, and convenience stores. The entire journey, from the first drop of purified water to the shelf of your local store, usually takes less than a week. Thanks for joining us on this fizzy journey inside Coca-Cola's amazing factories. If you found this peek behind the scenes refreshing, hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating manufacturing stories.